And welcome back to Big Movie Mouth Off. We're still here at Broovy Cinema Pub, our customary home, reviewing more movies for your pleasure or your displeasure. I'm Jeff Weiss with MSN Entertainment.
I'm Jimmy Martin with Slug Magazine. You can find Big Movie Mouth Off on Xfinity Channel 6, also on their on-demand system, Utah On Demand, Salt Lake Alternative folder right there. It's filled with reviews, probably some that may be on Blu-ray now, so if you're questioning renting or buying it, check it out, or a theatrical film, just like this one, as we record it right now.
Absolutely.
What we got?
Said film being Emperor, based on the true story from latter period of World War II, with Japan ready to surrender to U.S. forces. General Douglas MacArthur, played by Tommy Lee Jones in this version of events, has come to Japan to accept the terms of surrender from Emperor Hirohito. There's a catch. MacArthur and the United States would like to rebuild Japan, but if Emperor Hirohito is convicted as a war criminal and killed, Japanese people might not like that, and the rebuilding efforts might not go so well.
It'd be a little hard.
Yes. So MacArthur has tasked a subordinate, played by Matthew Fox from Lost, to find the evidence he can to sort of clear Emperor Hirohito of war criminal charges. As it turns out, character played by Matthew Fox, been to Japan before, had a lost love.
Oh, and that's where we get our side story.
General MacArthur wants you up front.
I'm told there will be 2,000 Imperial troops lining the road.
The snipers could take us out at any point, General.
Get through to Washington and tell them I've consulted my experts and there's nothing to worry about. Let's show them some good old-fashioned American swagger. The president has given me all of 10 days to conduct an investigation into the Emperor's role in the war.
10 days?
That's right.
It's not feasible, sir.
I'm making this your job. You know this country. I have confidence in you. If I put him on trial, I could be setting a spark to a powder keg at precisely the wrong moment. If I arrest the Emperor, I'll face mass suicides, possibly open revolt.
I want all suspects arrested in a 1-hour window.
How long since you were here?
5 years ago, sir.
My uncle is a general. He would be able to help you.
This country is starving, teetering on the edge of total collapse. It wouldn't take much for their resentment to ignite into revolt.
The Americans want to see the Emperor's head on a stake.
If you want to save the Emperor, I need proof. Did the Emperor order the attack on Pearl Harbor?
It's not black and white.
Your skies were filled with kamikazes. Millions died in his name.
You incinerated 2 of our cities. Justice should be served.
Revenge is not the same thing as justice.
I am about to make the biggest decision of the occupation, which will determine the future of Japan, and all I have is conjecture. I don't see any evidence.
Here's the thing with this film. All right, I like Matthew Fox. I do. I thought he was great in Lost, but there's something that he did in Lost that he does well, and it's cry. And he does really well. He can really get emotion that well. You know what he doesn't really do that well? He doesn't get angry well.
No.
And when he tries to get angry, I start laughing, and I immediately start thinking of his role in Tyler Perry's movie.
Yes, as a serial killer.
Oh, he was awful.
Oh, how frightening he was.
He's not... as muscly as that guy wants to get, he just is not intimidating to me. I'm sorry.
He also does not have leading man presence, and the film hangs on Matthew Fox's character here, who, again, trying to find evidence to clear Hirohito, I'll also find out what happened to a lost love of his, and man, this B storyline is so uninteresting.
It's bad.
It is so uninteresting.
And as much as I want to give crap to Tommy Lee Jones, I like Tommy Lee Jones in this film, but you know what? I've seen Tommy Lee Jones. This guy could do this role with his eyes closed. I think he wears military uniforms like to bed, and he's just like, Tommy Lee, we need you to come on set. He's like, well, I've already got the costume. You know, I mean, he's done this role 100 times.
It's like he has military uniforms as underoos.
He should be, when he dies, he should get like a decorated soldier, just because he portrayed one 80 times.
Yeah, and you know, actually, he's fine as MacArthur, and when the camera's on him, and he's interacting with Matthew Fox. I'm kind of fine with that.
Yeah.
And again, the mystery of what Hirohito did, what he knew during World War II, sort of interesting. Man, the rest of the film is just not.
It's one of those things where every time that Tommy Lee Jones leaves, you're kind of like,
no, don't go.
come back. You're the
Yeah.
interesting part, you know. And then when he's searching for his love and all that, you're like,
Also, by the way,
I'm gonna get popcorn.
this film was based on a book which was written by a driver assigned to Matthew Fox's character.
Who I want to know more about the driver.
Thank you! Thank you. That would have been more interesting. Instead, director Peter Weber, who also directed the adaptation of The Girl with the Pearl Earring, which was also very boring, just concentrates on the wrong things.
Yeah, because when they look at this, the head of Japan, and he's like, they believe that he's a god, you know.
Yes.
I'm like that's
Because that's his emperor
focus on
status.
this. Yeah, that's 'cause what really is at stake here is they do hang this guy. It's almost like it'll just reignite the war. you know?
Absolutely.
And so that's like where the tension is. And then he's like, "Where's my lost girlfriend?" I'm like, "I don't care. Come back over here." You know.
And especially because it's so painfully obvious.
Yeah.
That's if you can't figure out where that storyline's going, you have never seen a film before. That's how plain obvious it is. And again, a sucking emotional hole in the center of the film. That is Matthew Fox.
Now, what I do want to say though, that I really appreciate this film. The cinematography to me is really good. Even set design, because they're in, post-bomb Japan,
Yes, by the way, this is New Zealand or Australia, I believe, filling in for Japan.
and that even makes it crazy. I mean, it looks like this savage wasteland of just a crater in the earth.
Absolutely.
And it's it's I want to say brutally gorgeous. I mean, it's just you look at that and you just look at the destruction that's been caused to this country. And these people still have to live there, There's a great line there where he says, there's no use for directions since the roads have been wiped off the face of the earth. I'm like, oh God, that aspect of it was great.
Absolutely. Again, if it would follow those threads and not the uninteresting part,
Yeah.
they would have had something.
Yeah.
Instead, we are stuck with a 2-star movie.
Yeah, I think I may be a little bit ahead of you, 2.5, but it definitely that camera is focused on the wrong areas.
Yeah.
So, oh well, what can you do?
Hope for better things. And not Matthew Fox next
I
time.
wonder how much better it would have been. I'm like kind of rolling like my actor Rolodex in my head, thinking who would have been better in that role. And
Well-
if you say anybody, you just
It's interesting you bring that up because this was actually hatched as a project for Edward Norton, who has an
but
affinity
that's-
for Japan.
that would be better.
Yes.
All right. Well, Edward Norton probably would have done much better than Matthew Fox. Sorry, buddy.
Imagine that film in your head.
All right, well, that's going to do it again for another episode of Big Movie Mouth Off. If you want to see Emperor, go check it out for the right reasons. Just get ready for the wrong.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys here next week.